Yesterday, I sat down with New York program manager at Paint Care to talk about their business and why you should recycle paint, especially keeping Earth Day in mind, which is right around the corner. Take a look. So just start off, tell me a little bit about your business, Paint Care.
Well, Paint Care is this new statewide paint recovery and recycling program. It's all created by the paint manufacturing industry. We launched in 2022 here in New York State, and since then, we have collected over 2 million gallons of leftover paint, and almost all of that is going to get recycled. We have 370 drop-off sites across the state, including about 30 across the southern tier. That includes Binghamton, and Vestal, Whitney Point, Norwich, Cortland, Corning, Ithaca. I mean, I could go on and on. So we've got these locations conveniently located for people across the state. So now you can recycle your paint all year long at your convenience.
Yeah, and Earth Day is coming up, so we're kind of talking about that and how to help the planet and recycle. So really tell me, why is it so important to recycle paint and, leave it at these drop-off sites?
Right, so Earth Day right around the corner. So we want to do our spring cleaning in an environmentally friendly way. But before we start decluttering, we really need to prioritize safety, especially when it comes to all those cans of leftover unwanted paint that we've been accumulating for all these years in our garages, in our basements. And now, through this Paint Care program, folks can get rid of that paint all year long, and it'll get, the majority of it will get recycled. And it's easy to find our drop-off sites. Folks just need to visit paintcare.org online, paintcare.org. They'll click on drop-off paint, they'll put in their zip code, and they'll get this whole list of all the paint drop-off locations that are conveniently located to them.
All right, interesting. So I'm not a paint expert, I can't call myself that, but I know there's a lot of different kinds of paints. So do you accept all paints? Kind of walk me through what you accept, what you don't.
We accept all kinds of house paint. So latex we accept, and oil-based. We also accept stains and shellacs and varnishes. What we don't accept are spray paint. We don't accept things like mineral spirits, things like that, paint thinner, kind of like the chemical stuff. We don't accept that. We accept the actual paint. And if people have paint and it's hard for some reason, they can still come in and drop it off to one of our drop-off locations, no problem. But if it's not hard, then we don't want folks to dry it out. Mm-hmm. The message for many years in New York State has been dry it out and throw it out, at least when it came to the latex. Now the new message is drop it off and recycle it. So the majority of our drop-off network is comprised of paint retailers and your local neighborhood hardware stores. And all these folks participate as drop-off points voluntarily. They're not mandated or required to do so. They do so voluntarily. So those local paint retailers and local neighborhood hardware stores, by participating in the program, are really demonstrating, I think, their commitment to customer service and their commitment to community service. And thanks to them and the retailers across the state and the municipal facilities across the state that also serve as drop-off sites voluntarily, over 2 million gallons have been recovered through the Paint Care program since it launched in May of 2022.
Right. I think this is a really interesting process, because I never knew that this kind of existed and that you really should be recycling your paint. So I had one last question is, we've talked about you should gather your paint and drop it off. So what happens when you drop it off? What do you guys do with that paint to recycle it, I guess?
Yeah, what happens to the paint? So the paint that can be reprocessed basically goes through a reblending operation, and they mix colors together of similar hues. So the reds will get blended with all the reds, and the greens with greens, and blues with blues, etc. And through that process, a color palette of about 20 different colors can be created. So a lot of this recycled paint is great for reuse. but the color palette as a result of this process is about 20, 22 different colors. So if anybody has a very large quantity of paint, of 100 gallons or more, we have a large volume pickup service where folks will go online, again, to our website at paintcare.org. They'll fill out a very short form online and submit it to us, and we will come and pick up that quantity of paint if it's more than 100 gallons, and there's no charge for that pickup service.
All right. Interesting. Interesting. Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all that information. I knew nothing about it. So
Thanks. Really appreciate this opportunity to talk about the Paint Care program. Thank you, Avery.
and